My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. Well, I say for this little moment, we're going to come back now and we're going to sew the other side of the heart. We've already stitched this side, so now we're going to kind of stitch into this part as well, kind of get the little needles right in place. So with this kind of set in mind, we're going to sort of put the line in like this, take the same little step to this one, put it right in like that, and kind of come back here, put this needle in here, put this one through here. It'll be the same process all around the heart, and like you could see, we kind of started in that very similar same place there as we kind of went about this. So there is a place where you start. It is right there close to the stuff hole, and with that little thread to be there right in that place, kind of gets it just in the place where it needs to be. One of these days, if I ever get back to my regular sewing of fabric, might even try this now that I've learned how well it works for leather. And if you've seen my old videos where I've sewn things, you've probably seen the ways I did it. I'll tell you that I can't sew those denim animals anymore unless I make new patterns for them, because I lost the patterns I had in a flood that came through the basement. So with this in mind, kind of come out just like that, put it through there, come out the other end. You know, one thing that's very popular right now is crocheted stuffed animals. Probably purchased a few from friends online, purchased a few from some craft fair places. So that's how life has been in that world and in that area. So I've kind of enjoyed life that way, and so you'll kind of see a little bit more. We come the rest of the way through this heart and putting little extra bits and pieces into our fancy little work here. Come right by the side where, I'll say again, we got kudu fur on the front and deer leather on the back. Always enjoy picking up a new hobby anytime I can, and always love to do the arts. It's kind of fun here, just kind of being in this dark corner, having this little lamp on, just to kind of show right over the work how I'm kind of stitching this thing together, making this fancy little piece just come right out in a cute, cool way. And with all being said, nice little work to go. Just kind of think we came over a place here where we missed something, but got to come back, get that right in its own little place, kind of take care of matters here as we know them to go, and with what we have in mind, it's just kind of little bits and pieces of work that make it go a long way. Couldn't wait to see how effective this goes in life with a little wonders of the imagination, you know. Purchased this piece of kudu fur off of Etsy, and came out much bigger than I thought it would be. decide it's good ways to just try to find ways to use all the pieces of fur. And as of now, I say as we come along this long bit of sewing here, kind of happened that we got the little needle off the thread again. And sometimes, just sometimes, those knots, I mean, they don't stay on very easily. They can come undone. So we just kind of have to work at what we do all the best little ways we can, just to kind of see how a piece is going to come out. And we may not end up having enough thread to go the whole way all around, but come down to it, we see fancy little works that just make a good little way. Turns out this piece isn't going to be long enough to go all the way to the end like the piece we used when we did the other side was. So just for a little fancy art, I say kind of make things in some of the bestest ways we can. I've seen a lot of things people do, and you know, with this deer leather being on the back of this, I tell y'all, I even knew a custodian at a school where I used to work who'd bring deer jerky to work with him. His father hunted deer, and he'd save the venison and he'd make jerky from it, and the janitor would bring it to work. And as I was just out on the back porch of that place one day, just coming back from taking out trash, he had the jerky right there on the table, offered me to try a piece. It was pretty good stuff, but when you see what it comes down to, you know, think about all the vegan people, you know, that you meet in life, and all the little strange ways they kind of have of telling you things. So I'll tell you all a little bit more about that just from a little Darman video I watched sometime. But as for now, get things right in a good little spot. It just so happened that piece of thread was so short that we had to kind of end it out a little early here. But with what we got in mind and in hand, I say this is just kind of wonderful little artsy piece. And I'll tell you all, it won't waste too much thread for us to kind of go ahead and use another one of these things, because I will kind of take care of the other pillow on its own schedule and on its own time. But whenever you run out on one end, you can always start with another one of these and kind of make the way just come right through all the stuff you do. So down to what we have, I say we kind of skipped a spot there, so might see, and I tell y'all, it just so happened we did, so gotta get that out of the way, and gotta start from a whole new one here. So kinda just, you know, thread in the spot here, probably go one back to where there's already a stitch, kind of put it right in its own little place, you know, just to see how fancy this kind of work shall come out to be when we all get done with the things we all just kind of need to do. Fancy artwork, I say. And there's going to come a time when maybe I'll learn a little more, maybe learn how to make some belts and boots out of these skins. One of these days I will. But things, I say, come in their own time. Everything has its own time to come in life, and when we get all done with this, I say, just get another likely little stitch right in the place and move it freaking along to where it's going to need to be, getting all the little things out the way. So with all we have in mind, come down to fancy, fine, little artistic piece, I say. Make the work come on solid and secure. Splendid little work for ourselves to make what we have of a little kudu to know with what it comes down to being. Make it so it's going to be fine dandy works, I say, to where, you know, just kind of getting the little spot right in. Kind of know one thing for sure. We're down to the last hole here, and this is a good video where I'm kind of coming up in little spots where I have to come up with some quick solutions, because I'll tell you all, when it comes down to it, you're going to see that these solutions are going to work for the better for you, for many more. And I'll tell you all that this is just kind of what it's all got to get down to. So make one little last stitch in there, kind of move it along, kind of take the spot and get it right in to where it's going to rightly need to be. So come right in, take the next step, and with what we have here, I say, fancy little piece of work it is. So down to what we have, comes right out just this fancy little way. So I'd say we're probably kind of done for this part of the project, but there will be many more parts to come. There's going to come a time when we're going to try to stuff it and kind of get a little more pricking done and a little more hole punching and try to get it stuffed and sewn the rest of the way. So thank you all for coming on and watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ta-da! Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.